child, my cherished one, attend carefully. Archangel Michael states, today, right after your final communication, a hidden truth was revealed. It will astonish you, but it will also rescue you. Do not share it with anyone. Unlock your soul now. There are 21 minutes before this opportunity shuts. Every moment counts. Inhale deeply. Whisper softly, God, keep me alert and safeguard my thoughts. Excellent. A gateway just shifted in the realm. You sensed it like a gentle pull in your torso. That was not a figment. It was your identity being summoned. You were selected to receive this initially because you have borne a deep bewilderment by yourself. Comment Elan Evan below to affirm your connection. Someone uttered words about you that twisted reality. They aimed to make you question yourself. They sought to force you to submit to dread. Michael declares, rise within. You possess greater radiance than the space that attempted to fade you. The hidden truth is this: what departed from you was never intended to bind you. What shattered you is poised to enrich you. What you forfeited is coming back in a pure shape. But first, you must ignore the call of alarm. There will be a notification, a signal, a tap, a recollection. It will attempt to drag you into the former cycle. You will experience a compulsion to reply with fury or with pleading. Refrain. Michael declares, I am positioning a blade between you and what exhausts you. I am severing the tie that left you weary. I am nullifying the encounter you never ought to have joined. I am cleansing your identity where it was tarnished by whispers. I am restoring your vitality where it was taken by dread. Listen, there is an individual who grins in your presence but twists your identity when you depart. There is an individual who acts oblivious to you but examines all you share. There is an individual who admires your glow but resents your independence. God is uncovering intentions now. You will no longer need to struggle in shadows. You will experience an odd tranquility when their facade falters. You will utter, "Ah, so that is what it was." Do not squander phrases. Do not justify yourself to the irrelevant. Michael declares your true observers are the divine. Your validation stems from the one who shaped your moments. You have nothing to demonstrate, but you have something to accept. A mechanism, an identity, a timeline. Observe for the digit 7 throughout the coming day. On a display, on an invoice, on an entrance. When you spot it, halt and declare, I select truth. That simple gesture will alter the course of your upcoming week. Because agreement holds strength. You are about to cease consenting to your former dread. You are about to begin consenting to your fresh existence. This is why the hidden truth emerged right after your final communication. The divine awaited your plea for aid. Now the response is approaching swiftly. Do not be startled if a minor setback prevents you from repeating a past routine. Do not condemn the hold-up. It is a salvation masked as opposition. Michael declares, I am redirecting the flow of your fate. Paths are opening. Concealed blocks are dissolving. You will proceed with elegance. Someone is on the verge of expressing regret. Do not hasten to declare it's fine. Hesitate. Allow the reality to complete its task. Pardon is compassion, but insight is defense. Type, I trust you, in the comments to embrace this guidance. You can pardon and still maintain your barriers. Michael declares, I will teach your refusal to be as sacred as your acceptance, because your tomorrow relies on your limits. The wonder is not solely what arrives for you. The wonder is also what no longer accesses you. You will rest more soundly. You will reason more clearly. You will sense your form become buoyant once more. This is not exaggeration. This is harmony. The divine is not mocking you. The divine is instructing you. 2 directives will protect you today. Do not echo what God discloses confidentially. Do not postpone what God urges you to execute promptly. If your essence suggests submitting that form, submit it. If your essence suggests erasing that image, erase it. If your essence suggests ceasing to view their profile, cease. Every minor compliance will accumulate into a major advancement. This is how entrances unlock without your forcing. This is how adversaries crumble without your battling. This is how serenity comes without invitation. Now absorb this statement distinctly. You are not delayed. You are being safeguarded. The spot that dismissed you became the evidence that you are unique. The grasp that released you became the cue that you are supported from higher realms. The tone that ridiculed you became the resonance that will not trail you into your fresh spaces. Michael declares a record is shifting in your benefit. A position is being reserved with your identity upon it. A transaction is being dispatched. A dialogue is being arranged where your identity will be referenced with esteem. Do not compel it. Simply remain prepared. Maintain your device organized. Maintain your area organized. Maintain your thoughts organized. Declare, I embrace what God dispatched. I relinquish what God concluded. Excellent. Now regarding the individual who feigned impartiality, they were not impartial. They fuel both conflicts. This is why you sense conflicting cues. Your intuition was not mistaken. You only questioned it because you care profoundly. Caring profoundly is not your issue. Mistaking devotion with self-sacrifice was that concludes now. Michael declares, I am igniting your self-worth with sacred flame. You will not perform for scraps. You will not pursue what dismisses your innocence. You will no longer alter yourself to squeeze into narrow spaces. You will be completely observed where you are entirely secure. Your next space will not penalize your sincerity. Your next group will not rival your recovery. Your next chance will not require you to fade your belief. You will inhale and fit simultaneously. You will labor and be appreciated simultaneously. You will care and be respected simultaneously. You will enter and sense God already present. Now attend for a mild directive. Consume water. Interrupt the deprivation of your essence. Utter positivity over yourself. Articulate your identity aloud and sanctify it. I sanctify your thoughts. I sanctify your strides. I sanctify your tomorrow with pure entrances, and secure individuals declare it 3 times. You will sense your shoulders relax. that is burden elevating. The hidden truth that was revealed aimed to embarrass you. The divine is utilizing it to protect you. You will not be shamed. You will be emphasized. Comment 303 below, if this speaks to your spirit. When a reality emerges, the foe forfeits influence. They cannot intimidate you with what you already comprehend. You are liberated. This is why there is haste. 21 minutes is the indication that mercy is time-bound. Reply with compliance before dread disguises itself as reason. Now absorb a task about your resources. Do not scorn minor funds. Respect it with precision. A minor adjustment now will avert a major deficit later. Examine one membership. Terminate one drain. Establish one limit with benevolence. Contribute where God approves, not where remorse demands. Your funds will begin to heed your intent. A flow will emerge where it once withered. Michael declares, anticipate an uncommon reduction, a liability adjustment, or a overlooked reimbursement. It will come as validation that God is reorganizing elements in your benefit regarding your connections. The correct individual does not require you to erupt to grasp your perspective. The correct individual will absorb your calm reality and adapt. You will not clarify the same distress 10 times anymore. You will articulate once and it will be respected. If you must continually demonstrate that you are deserving, you are not among your kin. Your kin are approaching. They are not boisterous. They are reliable. They bear mechanisms, not restraints. When they come, you will feel relaxed, not overwhelmed. You will feel observed, not exhibited. You will feel shielded, not controlled. This is sacred affection. Now, a caution. The upcoming 7 days hold 2 trials. One will arrive as adulation, one will arrive as strain. Both seek the same thing to cause you to forget your essence. Smile at adulation, but do not commit your essence to it. Observe strain, but do not yield your serenity to it. Michael declares, I am timing your replies. I am placing the correct phrases on your lips and the correct quiet in your grasp. You will not over-justify. You will not undervalue. You will behave like someone who has viewed the records of the divine because you have in visions, in cues, in this very communication. If this statement is nourishing your essence and maintaining you near to God, ensure you subscribe now so you do not overlook the next directive that safeguards your advancement. Now gaze at your palms. They appear commonplace, but the divine has positioned an instrument in them. Some of you will compose. Some of you will construct. Some of you will vocalize. Some of you will trade. Some of you will guide silently in spaces that appear basic, but transform lineages for eras. Do not contrast. Contrast is a robber with impeccable etiquette. It taps courteously and pilfers noisily. You do not require their route. You require your rhythm. This is the rhythm. Consistent, sincere, attending, pure. You will reach on schedule by advancing with God, not by sprinting with alarm. Now regarding the communication that may come from the individual who once commanded your focus, Michael declares, If it is not distinct, it is not for you. If it tightens your torso, it is not for you. If your serenity diminishes, retreat. Your form has learned to articulate the reality before your thoughts comprehend. Rely on it. Comment 444 below to claim your peace. Your nervous framework is recovering. This is a wonder, too. Not all wonders are boisterous. Some are subtle modifications that halt the draining you adapted to disregard. The divine counts those wonders as triumphs. Now rise, even if only within. Position your palm over your core. Declare, I sever consent with dread. I sever consent with embarrassment. I sever consent with deceptions. I establish consent with reality. I establish consent with serenity. I establish consent with my summons. Excellent. You sense that surge. It is not spectacle. It is liberation. A gentle liberation that allows you to retain your honor and your delight. Now, a vow. By the time the next entrance unlocks, you will not advance as the variant that was injured. You will advance as the variant that acquired insight. Your gaze will be composed. Your phrases will be scarcer. Your strength will be ampler. They will ponder what transformed. You will declare, I ceased disputing with God. You will declare, I began attending when the divine murmured. You will declare, I selected reality over focus, and focus arrived to me regardless. Because radiance does not need to yell, it only needs to gleam. If this is touching you, halt and subscribe so your next sacred communication locates you promptly. These statements are synchronized with your next stride, and I desire you protected when the next directive comes. Now a concluding precision for today. You are not doomed. You are being refined. The incorrect grasps have been eliminated. The correct grasps are being readied. You will hear your identity articulated with regard. You will observe your route delineated with grace. You will sense your rest become pleasant. You will experience relief in basic spots. Organized chambers, distinct messages, sincere companions. Michael declares, I have encircled your dwelling with blaze. Nothing impure will traverse easily. Do not unlock the entrance just because it taps. Inquire, who dispatched you? If the divine did not dispatch it, allow it to pass. Your craving will no longer render you reckless. Your empathy will no longer render you sightless. Your optimism will no longer render you innocent. You will be compassionate and keen. You will be tender and protected. You will be bountiful and prudent. This is maturity. This is security. This is the wonder of a thoughts renewed. Now inhale once more. Allow your shoulders descend. Allow your jaw relax. Allow your gaze soften. The tempest is not within you anymore. It is external fading. You are the dwelling constructed on the foundation. The gust can approach, but it cannot possess you. The downpour can demand, but it cannot submerge you. The flash can illuminate, but it cannot obscure you. You are shielded. Comment 777 below for divine protection. You are directed. You are preserved. And the hidden truth that attempted to shatter you just became the cue that God is with you. Retain this. safeguard it, advance forward. When you sense the pull of the former element, murmur, "No, thank you, I am already selected," and proceed because your existence is emerging, because your period is mature, because the divine declared so, because Archangel Michael positions at your flank with a blade of radiance and a barrier of reality. Proceed now. Execute your minor compliance. Compose the communication. Erase the conversation. Consume the water. Unlock the document. Sanctify your identity. And observe quietly and certainly as the next entrance swings open without sound and you advance through with serenity. My cherished one, incline a bit nearer. There is still additional you must absorb. Archangel Michael declares, "The next 21 minutes are a connection. Traverse it cautiously. On this connection, every stride is a decision. Select reality over clamor. Select serenity over alarm. Select compliance over excessive analysis. The former snare will appear recognizable. It arrives garbed as haste, but requests you to disregard your essence. Do not hasten where God has positioned a halt. Do not postpone where God has positioned an approval. There is a cause the divine keeps reiterating this. Your tomorrow attends to your cadence. When you advance with God's cadence, entrances unlock without harm. When you sprint with dread, entrances unlock with wounds. You are finished gathering teachings that cost excessive vitality. You will acquire in the radiance now. Michael declares, "Observe for 3 mild cues. A dialogue that remains compassionate even when it differs. An offer that respects your limits without bargaining. Did I overlook the cue? Should I have lingered longer, absorb me? Compassion encountered you in the departure. Mercy guided you out before sorrow could confine you. You did not forfeit, you were directed. There is a sacred timetable inscribed over your moments. Dawn will bring directive, noon will bring chance. Dusk will bring contemplation. Safeguard them like barriers. When you respect the barriers, intruders cannot perplex you. If this is infusing serenity into you, hold for a moment and secure it. Subscribe so that when the next directive comes, it locates you prepared, not rushing. These statements are a lantern, and lanterns function best in order, stride by stride. You will observe the route become distinct, Michael declares. Do not bargain with a force that thrives on bewilderment. When someone compels you to clarify basic limits 10 times, they are not perplexed, they are dominating. Retreat. Quiet is a full declaration. Comment 999 below to strengthen your resolve. Distance is a complete section. Conclusion is an entrance you are permitted to shut. Without a group, you will soon detect a minor cue in an ordinary spot. An identity you keep encountering. A digit that repeats. An expression that feels like it was composed for you. Attend without fixation. Accept without mysticism. God communicates fluently in plainness. There is someone who once ridiculed your rhythm. They said you were too sluggish. They said you were too cautious. They will observe the divine reward the caution they called hesitation. What they named postponement was actually blueprint. You were not delayed, you were structured. My child, ready your banquet. Organize your area, arrange your documents, erase the former discussions that hold your thoughts captive. Structure draws abundance. Precision draws fellowship worthy of your summons. You will be astonished at who requests pardon without the remorse terms. They will return with benefits, with offers, with abrupt compassion. Do not consume sweetness without essence. Examine for transformation. No remorse, no reaccess. Wish them prosperity. Maintain your essence. Michael declares, I position around you a barrier that humbles defamation. The deception will traverse 3 paths and fall. The reality will take one stride and endure eternally. Do not pursue whispers. Construct outcomes. Your next accomplishment is a tribunal. Allow it to articulate. There is an entrance that will unlock quietly prominent. No fanfare, no highlight. But when you advance through it, everything alters. Your rest deepens. Your tone stabilizes. Your surroundings ceases disputing with your fate. That is the entrance you have supplicated for. You will recognize it by the serenity that does not demand evidence. Cherished one, commence composing again. The memo in your device, the scheme in your record, the supplication in your own phrases. The divine provides outlines to those who demonstrate they can hold pigment without wasting. Heaven provides outlines to those who demonstrate they can hold pigment without wasting. You are dependable. Grasp the instrument. You have numerous observers on you, yes, but none as loyal as the observers of the one who summoned you. Individuals observe for an instant. God observes for an existence. Relax in that. It is secure to inhale again. Michael declares, anticipate a turnaround. A space that once dismissed you will solicit you. A tone that once questioned you will protect you. A route that appeared obstructed will flourish. Position upright when it occurs. Do not contract to make it comfortable for those who misinterpreted your period. Comment 222 below as a sign of faith. My child, cease inquiring why me, as if you are undeserving. Commence inquiring what now, as if you are prepared. Because you are prepared. Because you have been prepared in concealed dawns and silent droplets. Because consecration develops best in the terrain of unseen loyalty. You will be astonished at who has appreciated your moderation. They observed you restrain your words. They observed you select the elevated path when the inferior path demanded your identity. These silent observers are about to become prominent assistants. Respect them when they come. Collaborators, not leeches. Constructors, not lenders. If you sense the elevation even now, inhale it in and secure your route. Subscribe so the next communication locates you before the intersection does. Synchronization favors the readied. Direction favors the attending. Advancement favors the disciplined. Michael declares, I am honing your internal refusal. This sacred refusal is not resentment. It is management. It will spare you years. It will spare you droplets. It will spare you from clasping a pact that would have agitated your fate. Soon you will receive a communication that feels commonplace but bears significance. Absorb it twice. Supplicate once. Reply gradually. Chance will respect your rhythm if it is intended for you. Only snares are hasty without precision. My cherished one, do not mistake isolation with readjustment. When God eliminates the clamor, quiet sounds like void. Granted a day, granted a week. Observe quiet disclose itself as area, space to construct, space to mend, space to absorb. You have numerous observers on you, but your task is not to perform. It is to persist. Persist loyal, persist concentrated, persist receptive. The performance concludes when the intent commences. Allow intent to occupy the platform. Now Michael declares, your rest will be protected tonight. Repose will return like a companion locating your entrance again. Visions will readjust, not repeat. You will awaken with a phrase in your essence that becomes your guide for the day. Record it, execute it. Observe how minor compliance unlocks large barriers. You will be astonished at how swiftly serenity returns once you pardon yourself. You did the finest you could with the radiance you possessed. Now you possess more radiance. Do the finest you can with this radiance. That is redemption in action. Comment 555 below to invite restoration. My child, I sanctify your palms to complete. Half-constructed concepts will locate their structures. Overlooked outlines will locate their conclusions. What you commence, you will finalize. Finalization is liberation for originators. Access it and absorb this concluding murmur for now. When the observing observers grow louder, allow your internal chamber grow quieter. When the group sways, allow your internal foundations dig deeper. When the proposal dazzles, examine the base. You are not easily shifted anymore. You are secured. You are conscious. You are progressing. My child, draw another inhalation. There is still essence on this statement. My cherished one, the breeze of precision is flowing through your existence like a silent tempest. Archangel Michael declares, do not stiffen, loosen your shoulders and accept. You have numerous observers on you, yes, more than prior. Some are wishing you stumble, some are wishing you soar. Either way, you are becoming a teaching. Allow your advancement be the instruction that requires no discourse. You are going to be astonished at who finally confesses they misassessed you. They observed a kernel and ridiculed the tree that was within it. They observed an outline and ridiculed the masterpiece it would become. God concealed you in rough outlines intentionally. Now the disclosure commences. Michael declares, when fate hastens, imitations alarm. Anticipate last-moment offers with unclear details. Anticipate adulation that disregards your limits. Anticipate hasty demands that cannot clarify their haste. Reply with composed reality or blessed quiet. Your essence has matured. You no longer require a group to validate what the divine already engraved on your core. Position resolute without yelling. Authority murmurs, and the space still absorbs it. My cherished one, your dawns are becoming portals of gold. Awaken and utter positivity before you browse. Supplicate before you respond. Scheme before you execute. You will sense the days submit to that structure. You may articulate gently, but articulate. Gentle storm alters more climate than loud resonances. Some of you are summoned to construct, but the outline felt intricate. Commence with a section that is distinct, and the remainder will disclose itself. Some of you are summoned to assist, but you mistook assistance with obscurity. Assistance is not obliteration. Assistance is superiority. Comment and 8 below for renewed strength. You will be observed as you assist, not because you insist, but because radiance naturally discloses its origin. If these statements are nourishing you and maintaining you, synchronize with God's schedule. Subscribe now so you do not overlook the next directive that safeguards your drive. Your tomorrow is an order. Each communication is the next element that maintains you advancing securely. Now, a short warning for the approaching days. A recognizable lure will tap precisely when you feel most tranquil. It will request you to demonstrate something you do not owe. It will declare, "If you really transformed, display me. You are not trying out. Don't grin and refuse. Serenity is evidence enough." You will declare, and the lure will pass like a cloud that cannot precipitate. Michael declares, "I am transforming your joy. It will no longer be a mask. It will become a stream. Streams purify. Streams transport. Streams access spots you cannot traverse. Your delight will proceed ahead of you and ready introductions you never envisioned. Entrances you never recognized existed will be maintained open by individuals you have yet to encounter. Grace is a silent laborer. Allow it to labor. Do not yell for focus when the divine is already articulating your identity in spaces you have not accessed. Ready instead. Maintain your records prepared. Maintain your tone prepared. Maintain your narrative sincere. The correct space does not require performance. It requires reality. Bring reality, and you will belong. Now, regarding your kin, recovery is arriving as limits, not as disputes. Cease practicing addresses in your mind. Commence practicing serenity in your form. Appear reliable. Articulate brief. Maintain compassionate. Depart early if the space shifts. Child, you are not deserting anyone. You are declining to desert yourself. Generational cycles conclude when one individual selects superior cadences. That individual is you. I recognize this feels expensive, but what expenses you now will spare your offspring later. What costs you now will spare your offspring later. This is affection in its developed form. Michael declares, "I am restoring your identity where kin terms distorted it." A kin who misinterpreted you will observe clearly. They may never express regret with phrases, but they will respect you with deeds. That is sufficient. Comment 07 below to release and receive. Accept the deed and relinquish the anticipation of a flawless regret. Liberty is in acceptance, not performance. Now position your palm on your torso again. Declare, "I select aligned entrances only. I select sincere individuals only. I select pure roots only." Excellent. Sense the synchronization engaging. Minor engagements like fasteners unlocking. The divine is coordinating schedules on your behalf. You will be at the correct spot without effort, you will miss the incorrect spot without remorse. Even your holdups will be sacredly modified. This is not fortune. This is coordination. Do not boast about it. Be thankful for it. Thankfulness is essence. It maintains the mechanism of grace operating smoothly. Now, Resource Precision, Part 2. Arrange 10 quiet moments to examine one account you have evaded. Identify the dread. Compose a scheme with 2 strides, not 20. 1 stride to halt the drain, 1 stride to commence the current, then execute the same day. Action will locate supporters, a wave charge, a assisting individual, a prompt chance. Why? Because bravery draws support. The divine supports audacity that is rooted in insight, not self. Replicate this cadence weekly. Your funds will cease behaving like an outsider. It will commence to act like a trained attendant. This is management. This is spiritual, not just functional. Michael declares, expect a communication about funds that brings ease, not tension. It may be minor, but it will be a cue. Respect the cue. Do not scorn the day of minor validations. They are evidence that the major entrance is already rotating. Your form will detect the alteration before your thoughts declares it. Rest will deepen. Inhalation will extend. Concentration will hone. When you sense this, do not undermine it by welcoming disorder. Maintain your device at arm's distance. When you awaken, greet God before you greet the feed. Establish the mood, then advance into the day. Your dawns are becoming holy again. Now, a statement for the creator, the composer, the constructor in you. Produce before you absorb. Grant your essence an opportunity to articulate without the group. You will amaze yourself. Comment 135 below to ignite your inspiration. A fresh expression will suddenly surface in your mind, one you've never come across before. Perhaps during a quiet moment of reflection or while engaged in a routine task, sparking an entirely new way of thinking about a long-standing challenge. A melody might unexpectedly play in your head, evoking the comforting warmth of home, reminiscent of cherished memories or a sense of belonging that soothes your soul and reignites forgotten passions. A detailed plan could materialize out of nowhere, offering a clear solution to issues that have frustrated you for years, whether it's a personal habit, a professional hurdle, or a relational dynamic that seemed insurmountable. Capture it right away, without hesitation, by jotting it down in a notebook, recording it on your phone, or sketching it out quickly to preserve its essence before distractions pull you away. These are like tiny seeds planted in fertile soil, small in size yet brimming with immense potential for growth and transformation. Seeds may appear insignificant at first glance, but they contain the blueprint for vast forests, nurturing life cycles that include sprouting roots, branching stems, and canopy layers that provide shelter and oxygen. Forests don't seek approval from anyone to thrive. They simply take root wherever they're sown, adapting to soil conditions, weather patterns, and ecosystems around them. They expand organically, drawing nutrients from the earth, harnessing sunlight through photosynthesis, and creating habitats for diverse wildlife, from insects to birds and mammals. In doing so, they profoundly change the surrounding environment, purifying air by absorbing carbon dioxide, preventing soil erosion with their root systems, and regulating local climates by providing shade and moisture. This mirrors your own impact on the world, which extends far beyond immediate recognition, influencing communities, relationships, and even future generations through subtle ripples of positivity and change. Stop gauging your worth by external praise or applause, which can be fleeting and subjective, dependent on trends, opinions, or momentary popularity. Instead, evaluate it by the quality of the atmosphere you create, noticing how your presence shifts energies in rooms, conversations, or online spaces toward greater harmony and clarity. If the air feels cleaner, lighter, and more uplifting after you've entered a situation, perhaps through a kind word that diffuses tension, an idea that fosters collaboration, or an action that promotes healing, then you are fulfilling your purpose with authenticity. Persist in this path, building momentum through consistent small steps, exploring new creative outlets like journaling or music making, and trusting that your unique contributions will naturally evolve into something profound and lasting. Now, addressing those who find all this inspiring yet feel utterly drained, as if the words resonate but the energy to act seems out of reach. The heavens have registered that exhaustion, understanding it not as a sign of failure or weakness, but as a natural indicator that your pace needs gentle adjustment and your personal boundaries require stronger fortification against overwhelming demands. Fatigue serves as a wise signal from your body and spirit, urging you to ease your daily tempo, perhaps by slowing down hurried routines or incorporating brief pauses for reflection amid busy schedules. This week, commit to saying no to 3 specific things that no longer align with your upcoming chapter, such as unnecessary commitments that drain your time, toxic interactions that sap your emotional reserves, or habits like mindless scrolling that hinder progress. Conversely, affirm yes to 3 restorative practices that replenish your inner well, including hydration with fresh water to flush out toxins and boost clarity, moments of silence to quiet mental chatter and reconnect with your intuition, and shared laughter with a trusted friend or loved one to lift spirits and foster genuine connection. These aren't mere indulgences or optional luxuries reserved for special occasions. They are essential strategies for sustainable living, tools that build resilience, enhance focus, and prevent burnout in the long term. Archangel Michael affirms, "I am guiding you toward victories achieved without total depletion, teaching you to succeed through balanced effort rather than relentless strain. You will no longer have to pull yourself out of self-inflicted exhaustion caused by overcommitting or pushing beyond limits, freeing up space for true rejuvenation and creative flow. You will cease needing recovery periods from your own eager agreements, learning to discern which opportunities truly serve you and which merely add unnecessary weight. Instead, you will move with the grace of a flowing river, steady in its course, impossible to ignore in its persistence, and nourishing to everything it touches along the way, from parched lands to thriving ecosystems. Those who once doubted your path or capabilities will find themselves reflecting deeply, wondering at your transformation without you uttering a single explanation. Your achievements will speak volumes in a universal language of tangible results, demonstrating progress through actions like completed projects, healed relationships, or personal milestones that inspire others silently. Moreover, you will extend kindness to those who misunderstood you, offering grace without compromising your standards, recognizing that true compassion doesn't mean blind agreement or tolerance of harm. Compassion embodies inner strength, a quiet confidence that declares, "I am unshaken by external judgments." It reaffirms, "I draw my support from a higher source that never falters." And it boldly states, "I owe no proofs to anyone, for my worth is inherent and divinely affirmed," allowing you to navigate interactions with empathy while protecting your peace. Comment, "I embrace rest" below to renew your energy. Now, take a slow, deliberate breath in, drawing fresh air deep into your lungs to oxygenate your body and calm your nervous system. Then, release it gently, exhaling any lingering tension or doubt that might cling to your thoughts. Our journey through these insights isn't complete yet, but you yourself have already undergone a profound shift, emerging with renewed perspective and inner fortitude. As you stand up following this reflection, whether physically or metaphorically in your mindset, you'll carry a transformed load, not the heavy yoke of anxiety that pulls you down into despair, but the grounding anchor of wisdom that steadies you amid life's fluctuations. Worry tends to drag you under like quicksand, consuming energy and clouding judgment, whereas insight acts as a reliable stabilizer, providing clarity and balance no matter the circumstances. Anchors like this ensure you remain firm through various storms, whether emotional upheavals, professional challenges, or relational turbulence, preventing you from being swept away by chaos. This explains why turbulent situations lose their grip on you over time, as your strengthened foundation repels negativity and attracts stability. You are firmly anchored in truth, abundantly supplied with resources both seen and unseen, and purposefully guided toward destinations aligned with your highest good. Echo these affirmations after me. One time. Letting each sink in deeply, I am not falling behind in my journey. I am perfectly aligned with divine timing. I am not desperately begging for change. I am actively evolving into my best self. I am not wandering lost without direction. I am confidently led by a higher wisdom that knows the way. Comment 456 below to anchor your path. Excellent work in affirming those truths. Now solidify them with a final, intentional choice that honors the essence of this message. Pick a single, achievable action you can complete within the next hour, such as drafting a heartfelt note to encourage someone, deleting an old conversation that stirs unnecessary stress, starting a simple list of goals for the week, or sipping a full glass of water mindfully to hydrate and center yourself. Carry it out as a sacred offering to your future self, a gesture of commitment that plants seeds for growth and invites positive momentum. Remember, even the smallest gateways can lead to expansive corridors of opportunity, unlocking paths you never imagined possible through consistent, faithful steps. You'll notice the subtle shift, like hearing a door's hinge creak open softly, resonating with a profound sense of relief that washes over you. It will evoke the comforting familiarity of home, a place of safety and belonging where your spirit can truly rest. And as you step forward through this threshold, hold on to this assurance. Archangel Michael walks steadfastly beside you, his blade raised high in vigilant protection, his barrier held firm against any adversity. No looming threat will claim dominion over your peace. No cunning deception will steer you off course. No concealed revelation will fracture your resolve. Only unvarnished truth will serve as the foundation to build upon, strengthening your journey with integrity and purpose. Press onward, my child, for the path ahead is brilliantly illuminated, guiding you toward fulfillment and divine destiny. My child, stay engaged with me a little longer, absorbing these words as they unfold further layers of guidance tailored just for you. Archangel Michael proclaims, "The path stretching before you is crystal clear, yet it demands your deliberate choice to embark upon it." Clarity functions as an inviting doorway to progress, offering direct access to understanding and action, while confusion resembles an endless hallway that loops without resolution, trapping you in cycles of doubt and indecision. Step boldly through that doorway of insight, embracing decisions that illuminate rather than obscure. Avoid wandering aimlessly in the corridors of uncertainty, where distractions multiply and progress stalls. You can discern the difference by tuning into the physical sensation in your chest. Truth creates a sense of expansion, like breathing freely in open air, fostering growth and possibility. Deceptions, on the other hand, cause compression, tightening your spirit with restriction and unease. Opt for expansion in every moment today, choosing paths that broaden your horizons and nurture your well-being. Firmly reject any bargain or opportunity that demands the sacrifice of your inner serenity, recognizing that if it exacts such a high price on your peace, it's inherently overvalued and not worth pursuing. Michael assures, "I will prevent your essence from being bartered for mere attention or validation from fleeting sources. Your dignity remains non-negotiable, not available for rent to the noisiest or most demanding environments that seek to diminish you. Your profound silence will echo with greater power than any elaborate display or theatrical outburst from others, carrying weight through its authenticity and restraint. Allow truth to handle the communication, speaking volumes through your lived example, while you focus solely on advancing with purposeful steps. Now, attune yourself to the internal timer ticking within your being. It's not signaling a descent into panic or urgency, but rather an ascent toward your true intent and calling. The 21-minute window isn't meant as a looming threat to induce fear, but as a focused interval to channel your energy effectively. Use this brief opportunity to set one sacred priority that aligns with your deepest values. Whether it's a small task like organizing your workspace or a reflective practice like journaling intentions, write it down clearly, circle it for emphasis to make it stand out, and take immediate action to bring it to life. Such decisive action naturally draws celestial support and positive forces your way, while excuses only breed further delays and missed chances. Be mindful in selecting your companionship, surrounding yourself with those who uplift rather than undermine. Michael declares, a new, meaningful dialogue is forming in the background, where your identity will be spoken of with genuine esteem and recognition. Resist the urge to rush headlong toward it out of impatience. Instead, walk steadily into it when the timing feels right and organic. Grace operates best in the absence of desperation, flowing freely when you're centered rather than frantic. Serenity should be your standard attire, a code of conduct you wear consistently in all settings, from casual encounters to high-stakes decisions. Turning to matters of your core essence, you've developed the habit of holding your breath in tension when certain names or memories surface, bracing for discomfort. Now, release that held breath fully, exhaling the accumulated stress. Your lungs are no longer mere storage units for harboring fear or unresolved emotions. They are vital instruments designed for praise, celebration, and life-affirming expression. Draw in deep breaths of unfiltered truth, filling yourself with empowering realities, and exhale the lingering deceptions that no longer serve you. Repeat this breathing cycle deliberately until a lasting composure settles in, becoming your default state. As a gentle yet practical directive for your digital life, detach from one voice or account that persistently keeps your nervous system on high alert, triggering unnecessary anxiety. In its place, connect with a single source that reliably restores your inner balance. Perhaps an uplifting podcast, a motivational feed, or a supportive community online. Treat your digital stream as a protective barrier, guarding it with the care of a cherished sanctuary, ensuring only nourishing content enters to cultivate peace and growth. Comment 789 below to guard your space. Now, consider the repetitive cycle that once dominated your evenings, pulling you into late-night overthinking or unproductive habits. You will no longer feel compelled to justify or explain yourself to confusion or ambiguity. After 900 p.m., setting a firm cutoff to preserve your mental clarity. Establish this boundary as securely as a locked fastener, unbreakable and definitive, to honor your need for rest. Rest itself is a sacred shrine, a holy space where you lay your head each night to receive deep restoration for body, mind, and spirit. Place yourself upon it willingly, accepting the healing it offers without resistance. Michael declares, "I am actively mending the vital connection between your racing thoughts and your elusive repose, bridging the gap with divine intervention. You will close your eyes at day's end and hold onto your hard-earned serenity, undisturbed by lingering worries. Nighttime will cease being a mental tribunal where past disputes or regrets are endlessly replayed and judged. Instead, allow profound stillness to deliver the final verdict, affirming your freedom from those chains. You are truly liberated, released to embrace tranquil nights that recharge you fully." Shifting to a statement on your labor or daily endeavors. Aim for superiority, delivered without total depletion of your resources. Pursue reliability that avoids complete breakdown, maintaining consistency through sustainable practices. Cultivate bravery that thrives without descending into disorder, facing challenges with composed resolve. This balanced rhythm defines your upcoming period, a season of steady progress marked by intentional effort rather than frantic pushing. Do not chase after opportunities or relationships that evade truth, fleeing from authenticity. Nor should you hide from experiences that beckon growth, even if they stretch you uncomfortably. Stand firmly where honesty and integrity take root, aligning with environments that value transparency. You will be discovered by the entrances and connections that rightfully belong to you, drawn naturally through your alignment. When temptation arises to force an outcome or manipulate circumstances, pause and whisper a grounding reminder. If God needs to push or coerce it into place, then I do not truly require it in my life. Then, loosen your grip entirely, releasing control to higher wisdom. In that surrender, open area will naturally emerge, creating room for the correct elements to fit seamlessly without any struggle or force on your part. Michael declares there is a specific correspondence, an incoming electronic message, or a key record bearing your identity that is gradually shifting in your direction, bringing positive change. Do not elevate it to the status of an idol, worshipping it with undue obsession. Instead, approach it with respect, honoring its potential without attachment. Absorb its content slowly, reading between the lines for full understanding. Authorize or sign it prudently, weighing implications carefully. Always retain duplicates for your records, ensuring security and reference. Steward your acceptance or agreement as though it were a scarce, precious token, because it holds that level of value in shaping your path. Your affirmative choices have the power to construct entire communities, fostering networks of support and collaboration. Invest them wisely in solid bases that endure, rather than fleeting spectacles that dazzle but fade quickly. Now, turning to a deeper statement about the individuals in your life, the one who habitually centers themselves amid your distress, feeding off it without offering help, cannot truly transport or support you forward. Extend a blessing to them from afar and then retreat gracefully. Prioritizing your well-being, the one who centers God and higher principles in the midst of your distress, can genuinely advance alongside you. providing strength and companionship. Warmly embrace them and move forward together, building mutual growth. Develop the skill to discern this distinction swiftly, using intuition honed by experience to spot red flags early. Your time is inherently sacred, a finite resource deserving protection. Your personal banquet or inner circle is holy ground, not to be invaded casually. Positions of trust and closeness must be thoughtfully bestowed upon those who earn them, not seized by force or manipulation. When the familiar narrative from your past attempts to hijack and narrate your fresh emerging day, interrupt it decisively without apology. Affirm aloud, I am no longer available for self-deception or compromising my truth. Let the words resonate, feeling your backbone align with newfound strength as you stand taller. This is the essence of personal authority, claiming your power with quiet confidence. This is healing that unfolds without grand spectacle or fanfare, a subtle yet profound restoration of your wholeness. Comment 101 below to declare your freedom. Michael declares, your tomorrow will not engage in negotiations with your past injuries or scars, refusing to be held back by them. Your tomorrow speaks fluently in the language of completeness and wholeness, inviting you to live fully integrated. Allow your daily strides to translate this language into action, embodying healing through choices that honor your growth. Now, consider a practical field memo for recognizing and inviting wonders into your life. Wonders frequently disguise themselves in the everyday garb of routine maintenance and small duties, blending seamlessly into daily life. Settle outstanding invoices promptly to clear financial energy blocks. Respond to important summons or calls without delay to maintain open channels. Dispatch necessary documents or forms efficiently to keep momentum flowing. Even fold the attire or organize your space methodically to create order from chaos. These seemingly minor acts of compliance build a sturdy runway, preparing the ground for major breakthroughs or arrivals to land smoothly. You are not merely readying for a fleeting instant of magic, but cultivating an entire existence capable of sustaining abundant blessings without crumbling under their weight. If this statement is actively safeguarding your strides and decisions, subscribe now so the next vital directive reaches you promptly and without interruption. You benefit from a consistent, reliable flow of precision and guidance, rather than relying on sporadic, unpredictable flashes of insight that may come too late. Remain actively linked to this source of wisdom. Remain fully protected under its influence. Returning focus to your chosen route ahead, you will inevitably be requested or tempted to choose between options that appear striking on the surface and those that are deeply synchronized with your core values. Always select the synchronized path, even if it's less flashy. Striking elements often diminish quickly once the initial acclaim or excitement fades away. In contrast, synchronized choices develop and flourish steadily after acts of faithful obedience, yielding lasting fruit. You are completely finished with auditioning or proving yourself for spaces that fail to grasp or appreciate the depth of what you bring to the table. Your existence and contributions are not mere ornamentation, added for superficial appeal. Your existence serves as foundational structure, providing support and shape to whatever you engage with. You have the innate ability to form and transform environments, whether physical, emotional, or professional. Position yourself with the confidence that reflects this role. Articulate your thoughts and needs like someone who knows their value. Scheme your days and goals like an architect designing for endurance and beauty. Michael declares, "The imitation or fake version will invariably arrive first on the scene. It comes grinning with superficial charm, promising quick wins. The genuine, authentic opportunity will follow second, presenting itself with steady reliability rather than hype. Imitations always hasten the process, pushing for immediate decisions. The genuine validates itself through consistent signs and alignments. Patiently await that validation before committing. 3 key confirmations will suffice: a quiet yes from God through prayer or intuition, harmony with your inner serenity that feels undisturbed, and sound advice from prudent, trusted counsel in your life. When these 3 elements align and consent, proceed forward with assurance. If even one differs or raises doubt, halt immediately and reassess. Such halts are not forms of penalty or setback. They are essential safeguards that prevent costly mistakes and guide you safely. Now, shifting attention to the individual who mirrors or copies your phrases and ideas, yet fails to embody or match your true essence and character. Copycats merely repeat your surface-level words or expressions without depth. True collaborators, however, repeat and uphold your core criteria and standards, contributing meaningfully. Always select collaborators who elevate the work. Copying may temporarily flatter the ego with imitation, but it lacks substance. Collaboration actively advances the shared task or mission, driving real progress. Your task holds far greater importance than any passing references or mentions you receive. Live your life as though that priority is undeniably true, focusing energy accordingly for a functional, everyday secure to ground you. Here are 5 guiding phrases to direct and shape your week ahead. I protect my dawn hours with intentional quiet, setting a peaceful tone before the world intrudes. I expend my acceptances and agreements like precious gold, choosing sparingly and wisely. I decline any lure or bait that attempts to steal away my hard-won serenity. I commit to executing one courageous element each day, no matter how small. I conclude each day not with whispers of gossip or negativity, but with heartfelt thankfulness for what unfolded. Take time to compose these phrases in your own hand. Articulate them aloud daily to internalize their power. Observe as your surrounding environment begins to alter subtly, becoming more supportive and aligned. Comment 321 below to set your intentions. Then, immediately take one matching action to embody this choice, such as erasing a lingering conversation that keeps your mind rotating in unproductive loops. Or decline an incoming offer that subtly keeps you confined to minor roles or growth. Perhaps outline a new communication or plan that maintains your commitment to sincerity and authenticity. As you do, your strides will feel noticeably buoyanter, lighter with each step, unburdened by old weights. That sensation is the hallmark of true synchronization with higher forces, where everything aligns effortlessly. Retain and nurture this state diligently, protecting it from disruptions. When waves of uncertainty attempt to return, and they will try, as doubt often persists, counter them decisively with concrete information and evidence from your life. Compile a quick roster of 2 specific instances where you were mysteriously shielded from harm or guided safely. List 2 deliberate decisions you've made recently that directly brought waves of serenity into your days. Note 2 key individuals in your circle who consistently respect and uphold your personal limits without question. Hold this compiled list in your grasp, treating it like a reliable guide or map through uncertainty. True guides don't waste time disputing with obscuring mist or fog. They skillfully direct you straight through it to clearer vistas. Now, consciously elevate your chin a bit higher. Standing with poise and presence, you no longer need to contract or diminish yourself to feel secure in any space. You don't have to raise your voice or shout to project resoluteness and strength. Position yourself at your full, natural stature, embracing the height and space you occupy. The divine has precisely measured and prepared you for this exact period in your journey, ensuring you fit perfectly. You inherently belong here without force or apology. Entrances and opportunities will naturally consent and open for you as you align. Schedules and timings will match up seamlessly, falling into place. Necessary assets, whether material, emotional, or relational, will emerge at the right moments, not as a result of desperate pleading or striving, but simply because you've achieved synchronization with the flow of life. If you ever sense a subtle tug pulling you back toward old patterns or places, respond by sanctifying the past with gratitude, but without committing to a return passage or revisit. Thank it sincerely for the invaluable teachings it provided, shaping your wisdom. Then, firmly relinquish it from any ongoing guidance or influence over your present. Instead, invite fresh insight to take the wheel and steer your course forward. Michael declares, "I am actively advancing and patrolling your personal borders tonight, ensuring their integrity. I am securing any small fissures or vulnerabilities with radiant light, sealing them against intrusion. What used to subtly drain your energy will now hold firm and retain abundance. What used to waver unstably will now stand solid and unshakable. What used to shatter under pressure will now flex adaptably and spring back with resilience. Durability and strength are being carefully interlaced through every moment of your days, weaving a tapestry of endurance. You will no longer exist in a fragile, brittle state susceptible to breaking. You will thrive as adaptable, yet concentrated, bending without losing form. Finally, embrace this commissioning as a sacred send-off. Position your palm gently over your core, feeling the steady beat within. Replicate these affirmations slowly, letting each one resonate. I select reality over fleeting focus or distractions. I select serenity over chaotic alarm or fear. I select synchronization over empty acclaim or praise. I select entrances that fully respect my inherent honor and worth. I select individuals who genuinely respect and honor my established limits. I select cycles and habits that respect and elevate my core intent. Now, take a deep inhale, filling yourself with this empowered energy. The connection or bridge of transition has been successfully traversed. You now stand on the other flank, free from those former cycles that once held you back. Advance with gentle care in your steps. Advance with certain confidence in your direction. Advance hand in hand with God, trusting the guidance. Archangel Michael advances steadily at your right palm, his blade shining radiant for protection, his barrier held consistent against any foe. Amen and amen.